Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Before we dive into the video, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon. Let's dive in. I'm Emily, 28, sitting in my sleek penthouse with floor-to-ceiling windows that frame the glittering city skyline. A glass of red wine rests in my hand, but my thoughts are miles away from the view outside. Just a week ago, my parents showed up unannounced, and their visit stirred up memories I spent years trying to bury. They weren't there to reconnect. They came because of money. Hook 1 my parents refused to pay for my college, but now they're begging me for $150,000. My older sister, Lily, is getting married, and the wedding has become a financial disaster. They stood in my doorway, practically begging me for a $150,000 loan to cover their share of the costs. The irony hit me hard. Years ago, I was the one pleading for help to go to college, and they slammed the door in my face. Growing up in our small coastal town, my dad worked long days at sea while my mom kept the house running. Lily, 3 years older than me, was always our golden child, bright, charming, and the center of everyone's attention. She excelled at everything: sports, school, friendships, and everyone adored her. I was the quiet one, more drawn to books and numbers and not to crowds and parties. I worked hard in school, joined clubs, and took part-time jobs at the local diner to save up for college. But no matter what I did, I never seemed good enough in their eyes. When Lily got accepted into a top university, it was like the whole town celebrated. My parents threw a huge party, invited half the neighborhood, and spent money like it grew on trees. I remember sitting at the table watching her soak in all the love and attention, feeling like I didn't even belong to the same family. When my turn came to talk about college, my parents' reaction was ice cold. My mom actually laughed and said I wasn't college material. My dad told me to be practical and get a job in the fishing business like him. I begged them to reconsider, offered to work part-time and pay them back, but they refused. "We don't believe in borrowing," they said. Words that still sting to this day. Heartbroken, I turned to my grandparents. They were the only ones who truly believed in me. My grandpa, a retired school teacher, sold his beloved old bookstore, his pride and joy, just to pay for my tuition. Because of him, I was able to leave that little town and chase my dreams in the city. College was hard. I spent my days in class and my nights juggling 2 jobs and internships. But I refused to give up. When I graduated, finding a job wasn't easy. I faced rejection after rejection. But I kept going until I finally landed a position at a small investment firm. It wasn't glamorous, but it was a start. I gave it everything I had. Hook 2 1 phone call changed my life forever and made my parents regret everything. One day, a former classmate called me out of the blue with news that changed my life. A top investment company was opening a new office in my city and hiring fresh talent. I poured every ounce of energy into preparing for that interview. It felt like my one big shot. After a tough selection process, I got the job. That moment marked the beginning of everything. I worked harder than ever, taking on big projects and pushing myself to grow. Soon, I became one of the company's rising stars. My success finally gave me the chance to give back. I bought my grandpa a luxury car and treated myself to this beautiful penthouse. For the first time, I felt like I built the life I always dreamed of. But just when I thought I'd left all the pain of the past behind, my parents came knocking again, this time asking for money for Lily's wedding. I couldn't believe it. After years of silence and indifference, they suddenly remembered I existed because they needed something. I told them no. I reminded them how they had treated me when I needed help. They called me ungrateful, but I stood firm. When they left, I felt an unexpected peace wash over me. For once, I had stood up for myself, and it felt empowering. I still had my grandparents, the only family who had ever truly been there for me. I was building my own life, my own future on my own terms. Lily's wedding eventually happened, but it was a far cry from the grand event my parents had imagined. Her in-laws covered most of the costs, and my parents were left embarrassed. I didn't go, and honestly, I doubt I'll ever be close with them or Lily again. But I've made peace with that. I've learned that real family isn't about blood. It's about love, support, and believing in each other. And I found that in my grandparents. Now, as I stand by my window looking out over the city lights, I feel proud of how far I've come. I've beaten the odds, built a life I can be proud of, and learned to let go of the people who never stood by me. Whatever comes next, I'm ready without the weight of the past holding me.